The federal government has ruled out penalising young Australians who access social media as it unveils sweeping changes to regulate the platforms. The Communications Minister is set to reveal key details of the government's planned legislation at the final day of a social media summit in Adelaide today.
It's been hosted by the South Australian and New South Wales governments amid growing concern from parents and e-safety groups about the risks associated with unfettered access to online spaces. We spoke to the Minister Michele Rowland last hour.
We understand that social media enables young people to connect. There are a number of very positive elements involved in it, but as this summit has been hearing and as the government is well aware, there are also some very serious harms that come with that. So the onus here will be on the platforms to ensure that they are acting in the best interests of children in enforcing this age limit. We also know through our age assurance trial, which is underway right now, that the platforms have the capability to undertake this kind of enforcement themselves. And we've seen that in recent weeks with Meta releasing its own version of Instagram for young people, limiting access under certain settings. So the platforms have the capacity to do more, and they should be doing more. So that's why the government is taking this approach. We also know that this has a very strong normative value for parents. As a mother of two young girls myself, I understand that fear of missing out factor that young people face and peer pressures, and the fact that parents are being bombarded with so many different pressures and messages about access. This provides a very important piece of normative value for those parents. But I think the ultimate issue here is about incentivising the platforms to do better. We are onto the second generation of digital natives now. It is the case that social media is not going to be excluded from everyone's lives completely, and also the fact is that we can't keep every person, every child safe at every moment of every day when they are online. But we can do better, and that is why we are taking this approach.
The Communications Minister Michele Rowland on the show earlier. Let's take it to the Middle East now, where the death toll from Israeli strikes in central Beirut has risen to 22, with more than 100 injured. The ABC's Global Affairs editor John Lyons sent this update a short time ago.
Most of the strikes over the last 3 or 4 weeks have been in the southern suburbs, the Hezbollah strongholds. About an hour and a half ago, or 2 hours ago, there were 2 major strikes about a kilometre from where I am here, just in the city centre, and they are believed so far, the death toll is believed to be 18 dead and 92 injured. They were in the neighbourhoods of Naweri and Basta, which are in central Beirut. In the Naweri neighbourhood, according to the Lebanese media, the strike hit the 3rd floor of an 8-storey building, and in Basta, which is just across the road from that, the strike hit a 4-storey building which is reported to have completely collapsed. The Israeli media is saying that the target was a senior Hezbollah figure, Wafik Safar, who is the head of the Liaison and Coordination Unit. And so it's been a very bloody day here with those major strikes tonight. You can hear the ambulances from where I am now. It's caused chaos in the centre of the city and obviously a high death toll. The Israeli Air Force has bombed the main water distribution channel from the Litani River to the Kazmir irrigation project. The local authorities there say that each day feeds or irrigates about 6,000 hectares. So that will create a major problem for the food supply. That's one of the major food bowls of Lebanon. So the major water system has been bombed. Israel also bombed a paramedic centre in the south of Lebanon, killing 5 paramedics. Israel also fired, according to the United Nations peacekeepers, UNIFIL, is an Israeli tank fired upon one of the peacekeeping towers there. UNIFIL is saying that the Israelis asked UNIFIL to move, and they said they shouldn't have to move. They've got a UN mandate, and according to the United Nations, an Israeli tank then fired upon them. 2 of the peacekeepers fell from the tower and were injured. Italy, which has some soldiers there, says that it's intolerable vulnerable that unveil soldiers should be fired upon. So it's been a very bloody day. And then, of course, in Gaza, 28 people have been killed and 54 injured when the Israelis have struck Deir al-Balah in the north of the Gaza Strip.
The ABC's Global Affairs editor John Lyons with that update in Beirut. Now looking at other stories in the news this Friday, and alleged serious domestic violence offenders granted bail in New South Wales will be tracked via GPS as new laws come into effect today. An ankle device will monitor those charged with serious domestic offences 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Corrections officers will notify police if an alleged offender enters an exclusion zone, such as a school or a residential address.
A squadron leader with the RAAF is due to face court today, charged with the murder of his partner at a rural property west of Brisbane. 47-year-old Robert Crawford was yesterday arrested. It was initially thought his 49-year-old partner, Frances Crawford, died in a lawnmower rollover in July, but now police are alleging she met with foul play.
UK rapper Young Philly has been granted bail after being charged with raping and choking a Perth woman in his hotel room while on his Australian tour. WA police arrested the 29-year-old in Brisbane before he was extradited to Perth. His bail conditions include a ban on contacting his alleged victim or posting on social media about the case to his millions of followers.
The Princess of Wales has made a surprise appearance in Southport to meet the families of several children killed in a stabbing attack there earlier this year. It is Princess Catherine's first official public function since she announced she was no longer receiving chemotherapy last month. 3 children were killed and 10 other people were injured in the attack at a Taylor Swift-themed dance class in July.